Hello, my name is Steve Milner. I have the honor of being the managing partner of Squarmilner. I have always been proud to be a CPA and particularly proud of our firm. When you think about it, a CPA has some very important functions. For those involved with audit, they are responsible for protecting the integrity of the world's financial reporting. Proper financial reporting is absolutely necessary to maintain an efficient capital market. For those who are involved in other areas such as tax, they are responsible for maintaining the integrity of our nation's and state's revenue source, as well as to assure that no person or company pays more than his or her fair share. For those involved with consulting, they no doubt have an equally important role to assure their client success, and they have a vital role in our society.
Hi, I'm Adam Bullock, Audit Partner. Here at Squarmilner, we are particularly proud of our people. No doubt our success is a function of the extraordinarily talented people we have hired. Nothing is more important than hiring the right people, that is, the people that will carry on our professionalism and contribute to our culture. Because we take hiring so seriously, we have prepared this short video for you to watch. When you interview people, we ask that you consider how would they contribute to our firm. In order to do so, the first place we start is by asking, well, who do we want to hire? We start with the resume. Examine it to assure that it is put together well and includes relevant experience and does not contain typographical or other spelling errors. The resume says a lot about a candidate. If an individual cannot get his or her resume correct, chances of success within our firm are diminished. Pay attention to gaps in experience and length of employment. Someone who moves from job to job frequently may not be a good fit for us. Most importantly, look for growth potential, not just whether the person can meet today's needs. For candidates going through the on-campus recruiting process or who are recent graduates, we must understand their academic achievement. All candidates should have a degree from a good university. Generally, our goal is to have candidates who have at least a 3.2 GPA, but the major and competitiveness of the university will be considered. As such, the GPA is not absolute.
Above all else, Squarmilner wants leaders. We ask you to refer to our brochure entitled Your Path to Your Goals at Squarmilner. If you turn to the last page, you will see that we list out characteristics of a leader at Squarmilner. More likely than not, leadership potential will be even more important than where someone went to school or what technical skills they have. When you interview someone, we ask that you consider how do they fit into our vision. We start with our firm mission.
I'm Kimberly Chu, our marketing manager. Allow me to read our mission statement. We are smart, open-minded, hardworking, compassionate professionals who embrace change, diversity, and differences of opinion. We drive toward a goal of providing the best professional services to our clients and making a positive impact on them and our community. And in so doing, we promote and support a dynamic and profitable firm for ourselves and those who succeed us.
I'm Thomas Bennett.
And I'm Narath Badani. We are auditors with Squarmilner.
Our mission statement says a lot.
But how can we tell if someone who is interviewing with us will fit that mold? How can we determine if they meet our core values?
How can we tell if they're willing to embrace change and differences of opinion?
Are they a compassionate person?
Do they seem self-confident so they can handle themselves in stressful situations?
How do we know that they're always looking to learn?
How do we know that they'll be willing to work beyond the call of duty, if necessary?
How do we avoid someone who is high maintenance?
Can they work independently, not just as a team member, or do they constantly need their hand held?
In short, how do we know if they have leadership potential?
A person's answers to these questions are key to determining whether he or she would be a good fit with our firm. But simply asking these questions will inevitably yield a meaningless answer. Even more, colleges actually teach their students how to interview and give canned answers. We want to develop questions individually where the candidate cannot simply give canned answers and does not simply give us what he thinks we want to hear. To do so, we must begin a dialogue with the person.
Hi, I'm Lisa, a tax manager with Squarmilner. It is often helpful to start from the bottom of the resume and work up, asking the candidate about his or her interest outside of work or going through their employment history to determine why they left or want to leave their former or current employer. Here are some tips.
Let the person talk. Interrupt as seldom as possible. Look for certain signs. For example, if the person expresses disdain for his prior employer, or alternatively, he was the only good person at his prior employer, this is usually a sign that the person is either high maintenance or did not perform well.
For non-technical questions, ask the same question to each candidate. For example, have them describe a situation where they did something for someone they did not know solely because it was the right thing to do.
Ask them to describe a project that they did where they were particularly proud of their own performance. Be sure to have them describe what their role was in the process and how large the team was.
Ask them to describe a situation at their prior employment where they fundamentally disagreed with the approach being taken. Listen, but do not ask how they contributed to a resolution.
Ask them to describe where they see themselves in 4 or 5 years if all things went well.
Give them situations that are not blatantly obvious where they have to make a choice between doing one thing or another. For example, would they prefer working on several clients during a given week where they may not feel totally satisfied that they went deep into any particular issue? Or would they rather work on one client where they were limited to one particular issue? Let them talk for a while. We believe that we offer our people an ability to see more of a client's business than our national counterparts. But our counterparts may allow people to address one particular issue more deeply. We are looking for people who like our model.
Ask them what they have read in the last year. We are looking for people who are seeking learning opportunities. Reading is one indication, even if it's periodicals or the internet, that a person likes to learn.
I'm Christy Oates, a tax partner with Squarmilner. Planning for the interview is particularly important. For professional staff, we would prefer that they talk to at least 4 people within the firm. Further, because there is a limited amount of time for each interview, and we don't wish to be completely repetitive, designate 2 people who would be responsible for exploring the candidate's technical expertise, and if applicable, when they'll sit for the CPA exam. Again, those people would determine in advance what questions they want the candidate to answer. Certainly those people can address other areas, but in the evaluation they will be responsible for determining whether the candidate has sufficient expertise. Make sure there is at least one broad question that we ask all candidates. We ask that there be 4 people involved because candidates often answer questions differently depending on how the question is phrased or who is asking it. We want to be able to identify the consistency or lack thereof in the interview.
I'm Nicole Zephyr. Kim and I are part of the recruiting team at Squarmilner. Undoubtedly, there are many very relevant questions we would like to ask, but applicable labor laws prohibit us from asking. We need to be mindful of those areas. While not an exhaustive list, allow us to at least explore a few common questions that should be avoided, such as,
You have a unique look. What's your ancestry? Sometimes people will talk about it. For example, if you notice that they're fluent in Spanish or went to a foreign university, it may be quite natural to talk about it. But we must be very careful not to bring this up directly.
what does your husband do? Or do you have a boyfriend or girlfriend? Do you have children? Or are you planning on starting a family soon? This is particularly problematic to ask women.
Questions pertaining to pregnancy, unwed motherhood, childcare, or future childbearing plans are illegal to bring up during the hiring process. We should mention that talking about one's children is sometimes natural. I sometimes talk about my daughters as a way to get people to open up, but it's perfectly within their right to say if they have children or not. Quite frankly, for many candidates, it's very relevant as they want to make sure we are a life-friendly, balanced firm.
Questions on religion are also typically inappropriate. Do you celebrate Christmas or Hanukkah? Have you ever filed a workers' compensation claim? Employees have the right to file workers' compensation claims for job-related injuries. Or questions such as, how old are you?
Finally, 401k and health benefits should be discussed by HR. Other than telling them that we pay for the employee's health benefits and that we have a 401k that has a variety of investments. Too many problems arise when others than HR or the managing partner describe health or 401k. The bottom line is, because they are third-party plans, the terms aren't individually negotiable.
Thank you for taking the time to listen to this video. Take your time during an interview and listen to the candidate. Again, there is nothing more important we do than when we interview a candidate.